At Med1st, we pride ourselves in being on the cutting edge of home medical equipment. Our staff works diligently with your physician to provide you with what you need to be independent in your home.
So she told Med1st, she's got to have a chair with a lift. And they did. They got me one. And they're good people. They helped me. Yes. They helped me. They sure did. I won't never forget them.
We all do better if we're at home. And our goal here at Med1st is to keep you independent, keep you well, keep you home.
I'm not handicapped in my chair. I only become handicapped when I ain't got it.
If your physician orders home medical equipment, ask your physician to call Med1st.
Visit Med1st today or call us at 274-1900. Med1st is always available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Hello everybody, I'm Pilar Archila with Pure Gold. I'm sitting here with Roger Folsom. He's the owner of Med1st. How are you today?
I'm great, Pilar. Glad to be with you.
Yes, well, I'm very happy to be with you. And actually, you and I have talked about Med1st just recently. And I'm so proud of you for having such a wonderful company here in Dublin. And for those who may not be so familiar with Med1st, tell us a little bit about your company.
Well, Med1st is a home medical services company. We provide all sorts of home medical equipment, home respiratory equipment, including home oxygen. We do a wide array of services, all the sleep therapy, CPAP, BiPAP, all those type services, just about anything in the home arena. In the medical services line, we do. Now, we're not a home health agency. We do not do the home nursing. We do nursing only if it's administration of an IV or with a respiratory therapist for certain aspects of respiratory therapy that we do. But we provide all sorts of services and started the company in 1995, so we're celebrating our 20th year this year. And just very pleased that the company has done what it has, and I give most of the credit to all the good people that work at Med1st. Yes.
Well, let me tell you, your service is wonderful.
Thank you.
Just recently, I needed something, and in a heartbeat, my husband went over there, and the service is just amazing, and I'm very grateful for that. And I know that there's other companies maybe in other cities, but we have Med1st here. So might as well get whatever we need from our own, town.
Well, I hope so, and I appreciate that. We've been very fortunate that the physicians have supported us, and the healthcare arena in totality, and the hospitals and that type thing. And we our reputation has. I tell my folks every day that we need to treat everyone just like they're a member of our family. Exactly. And I hope we've done a good job, and I think we have. And I appreciate all the referrals and the business that we have obtained here.
Yeah. If, God forbid, it's a Saturday or a Sunday or, after hours and I run out, well, not me because I don't need, but someone run out of oxygen, is there a way that...
24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year.
Right here in Dublin, Georgia.
And if you call Med1st at 3 a.m., you do not talk to a machine, or you do not press 1 for this or 2 for that. You talk to a person, and we respond, and we do that with regularity. We respond to people. You can only imagine the panic that would ensue if you were on home oxygen and your oxygen machine went down, or the electricity went off, and no power. Those type things happen, and we respond to them. And my folks are always responsive to the needs of our patients and customers.
There is, a tornado and no electricity.
We've had that.
Yeah.
People have been without power for days.
And waiting for who knows from what city to get help. But, we have help here.
Well, thank you.
That is amazing. That is amazing. Roger, are you from this area? Were you born in Lawrence County?
I was not. I told somebody recently, I guess I got here quickly as I could, but it did take me a while.
Sounds like me.
I was born in a little town near Valdosta, Georgia, called Hayhara. It was founded by my family, actually, and I grew up on a farm, and, you know, cows and pine trees and that type thing.
And pollen. Goodness, it's driving me crazy.
And I went to college at Valdosta State University. I worked in a hospital all through college. I worked in radiology and that type thing, and did all sorts of things in the hospital. I sutured, I helped deliver babies, I assisted in surgery. Had all the idea of going to medical school, was later accepted to medical school and decided kind of not to go. I enjoyed the business aspects of healthcare, and I worked as the assistant administrator at a hospital for a short while. Hospital was sold, and I went with Upjohn Pharmaceuticals so I could travel a little bit and learn some new things, and enjoyed that. And that's what brought me to Dublin, to answer your first question. I came to Dublin in '79. Upjohn was doing drug trials at the VA hospital here. A product that later was found to grow hair, it was minoxidil. And I came to assist in those drug trials, and then also to be the rep for this area for Upjohn.
Oh, wow.
And, you know, came here, never had been to Dublin in my life. And after a few months, I sort of fell in love with Dublin.
Oh,
and
it's easy.
then I moved here with Upjohn from Miami. And then after some months, Upjohn said, we're ready for you to come back to Miami. And I said, could you possibly leave me in Dublin for a while? And so wound up I stayed, and later as Upjohn went through some changes, I joined Lutheran Healthcare System, and they're a big hospital management firm out of Chicago. And they had an addictions hospital here in Dublin at the time. But I joined them, and we worked in managing hospitals and that type of thing out of Chicago for a number of years. But I maintained a residence in Dublin, and I would fly out on Monday and come back on Wednesday or Thursday a lot of weeks. And in 1995, actually I was thinking about it long before, I decided I will start my own company. And
in '95, that's when Med1st was
January 1995, we opened the door.
What was it about our community that attracted you so much that, you know, instead of just going to Chicago or going back to Miami, you said, you know, this is where I want to stay?
Well, first of all, growing up in Hayhara, living in Miami and Chicago was fun places to be, but that's not where I wanted to be the remainder of my days. But I tell people, Pilar, this all the time. Dublin is a unique community, and I've been in a lot of communities, actually. The people here are so kind and good. I mean, we have our problems, yes, but it's a caring community. People don't care who gets the credit for something. We all work together as a team. Those aspects were intriguing to me, and I saw opportunity here. I saw this was going to be a growing and thriving community, yes. And I think it is. And those were probably the real attractions. It was 2.5 hours away from my family, and so it was a good place for me to be. And I just put down roots, and I tell people all the time, I've actually been here longer than I've been anywhere, so this is home.
Well, that's me.
Yeah.
I've been here longer than anywhere in the world, including Colombia.
Yeah, me too. I mean, longer than down where I'm from. But it's a great community to live, in which to live. And, you know, later as I was appointed to the Development Authority, we're working so hard to get new industry here. We just did something the other day with a new industry coming. The community is just, I know it sounds cliche-ish, the green and growing, but we are. We're green and growing.
It is.
We are.
It is. Now, do you have siblings?
I do. I have a brother, and he has, his wife recently passed away, but he has 2 sons. Both are engineers, went to Georgia Tech, and I tried to get them to Georgia, but they went to Georgia
Tech.
Tech.
They went to Tech.
And they each have 2 children of their own and their wives, and so that part of the family is healthy and growing. And then my sister has 2 children.
Are they in your hometown?
They are. My niece is at Valdosta State. She's majoring in speech pathology. And my sister's oldest, Zach, my nephew, he just graduated last year with a degree in accounting, and he's working at a bank, and he's anxiously trying to get with the GBI. That he thinks he wants to do some forensic accounting. I think
so. Great.
Yeah, so I do, and I'm down there often. We still have the farm. My mom and dad passed away in the last year and a half, and so I'm down there. We still have the farm and all, and so it's fun. We all get together. We're getting together this weekend, actually, so it will be fun.
Sounds like fun. There's nothing like, getting together with the family and...
Well, we all know the secrets on each other, so there's no pretense there.
Well, Roger, we're going to take a very small, short break, and we'll be right back. Thank you for staying with us. I'm here with Roger Folsom, owner of Med1st. And Roger, you founded your company in 1995. Med1st was born, goodness, 20 years ago. And at what point you joined the Chamber of Commerce?
Well, I had already, Pilar, been involved with the Chamber through corporate work. Like I said, the Lutheran healthcare system had a little hospital here, or an addiction center, and I had an office in there, and certainly involved with the Chamber and doing some work.
Exactly.
I knew the Chamber. Had already, my year as chairman of the Chamber was prior to me starting my company, even.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
1997,
Well,
98?
I was getting on the chamber board is what I meant to say.
Board, yes.
Yeah, was prior to
Got
that. But yes, and so I was well aware of the good work the chamber does. The chamber's what unites all the business and commerce in the community, and I met so many people through the chamber. That's probably one of the most valuable things that came from being a member of the chamber. But when I started my company, there was no hesitation at all that I was going to be a member of the chamber. And we had, chamber did my ribbon cutting, and I have great pictures still from that day. So it was wonderful. It's been wonderful being part of the chamber, and the chamber does so much for our community. And then I was honored to, be chairman, and so it's really been great.
1997, 98. Now, what do you remember about that year?
Well, I'm going to start just a little prior to that. In the 96 Olympics, one of my greatest memories of the chamber is we hosted the Slovakian and Romanian wrestling teams. And Willie and I think Scott Beasley was probably the chairman that year ahead of me. And they asked me to chair the Olympic committee, and we hosted those teams here, and formed bonds. In fact, I still talk to the Slovakian group quite often by email, honestly, and it was such a great experience for our community. But one of the things I tell people all the time, it opened up the world in Dublin a lot when we brought some of those people here. I mean, we had YKK, and we had international people here, but these were people going to be in our community for just a short period of time, many of which did not speak English at all. And anyway, I had that experience, and then my year as chairman, there were a lot of great things that happened for me personally that year in the growth of our chamber. We exceeded the years before in membership. I remember that well. I remember so many, just meeting so many people, Lindsay Thomas, Alex Gregory, people like that I can just name. It's still important in our state. Alex is the CEO of YKK.
He was here yesterday or the day before. He was recently here. I saw him, talked to him.
Great fella, and now I'm on a board, well, 2 boards with him, and so I made so many.
Such a nice person.
He loves Dublin. He's just but Alex is just a prince of a guy. But I wouldn't have known Alex had it not been for chairing the chamber. But working with people in committees and the work that the chamber did, You form a bond with people that you wouldn't have otherwise. And I think for me, the chamber probably cemented my growth as to things that I've later have come to do, like development authority and some of those type things. It just led to many good things. And then, of course, when my year as chairman, one of the things we did for the first time, and Scott Beasley chaired this as the past chairman of my year, we brought the community together in a community-wide retreat. We went up to Lake Oconee and had a community-wide retreat and discussed education and industry and economic development and all sorts of things in a away from Dublin sort of deal. And it was good, and they did that again for several more years. And you know, Scott really helped put that together too, and we all worked on that together. Those were just good things that I thought came from some of those years along there.
That's right, and that is good for our community, and I mean, everything is tied together. Also, you chair the Development Authority also.
Well, I'm a past chair. I am now the vice chair. Okay. We rotate, and I'm the vice chair currently of the Development Authority, and that has been a wonderful experience as well.
Because they work hand in hand.
Well, without a community, without commerce, there would be no reason to recruit industry. I mean, the company we just had the ribbon cutting for this week, you know, they would not have located in our community had there not been restaurants and a hospital and businesses and those type things. And so that's it. One can't exist without the other.
Absolutely.
And the Chamber and the Development Authority just works. It's seamless. They just work so well together.
As a matter of fact, they have their office in the same building.
That's correct. Well, that's another. You asked about the community earlier. I need to say this. It's one of the things I think that makes us very, very unique is the Chamber and the Development Authority work well together. But we all work well together. Look at our elected officials, the county and the city and East Dublin, and everybody works together. I see all the faces, and we're all like on the same team. And I think that's really what makes our community unique.
I think so. Getting along is just amazing, the way we're getting along, all of us. Was there something that when you finished your year, you said, well, I wish, you know, I had more time to do this or that, or something that now we can maybe do that we didn't before?
Well, there was at the end of my year. One of the things we observed was we didn't have as many medical, being I came out of that arena, we didn't have as many medical people involved in the chamber. The physicians are so busy and our offices are so busy, but we didn't have the numbers of physicians and people like that I thought should be involved in the chamber and to know the workings of the community. And that was one of the things. I know Willie and I had some discussions afterwards, and there were some outreaches made, and I think that has changed. But at the end of my year, I really thought this is something that, being I came out of that arena a little bit, that we should have done, made an outreach more so. But I think that's changed now. But I still will say out there to all you medical folk, you should be members of the chamber, because without a community, there would be no patients to treat.
Yeah, and sitting on those boards, but you know, us together and the board of trustees for Fairview Park Hospital, I noticed how busy, my goodness, the doctors that belong to the board. I mean, I don't even know how these people have time for anything in their lives.
It is amazing, and I don't think majority of people know the sacrifices they make.
Exactly.
And you know, to expect them to do things in the community maybe is a little far-fetched at times, but I think it's healthy for them. I know I recently had a physician that had retired tell me he joined Rotary after he retired, and he became involved in a couple of other things, and I saw him at some chamber events, and he said, you know, I didn't realize there was another world out here. And I hope we have some people that can do both and reach into both, but I do know our physicians worked hard.
I know. I didn't know until I was invited to be the board of trustees, and I started, getting to know them better. And every time I leave the meeting, I'm thinking, my goodness, they do so much. I mean, besides just being just a doctor, that is amazing.
They do.
And talking about doing so much, you all knew, and I'm sure you knew, that I'm sitting with the Men of the Year. Roger, I was so tickled and so proud when they started just talking about the Men of the Year, and after a little bit, I knew it was you.
Well, I did too after a little bit, but it was still shocking. I went out there that night because Helen Harper had told me I had to go, and I don't tell Helen Harper no.
She's a judge.
And also, I had nominated someone. And when I got there, I realized none of them were there, so I thought, so much for my nomination, But when they started reading it, I could not believe it. I was deeply humbled and honored by that, and I don't know that I've done anything to deserve it, because I can think of many who do deserve that. But it's quite an honor, and I'm very pleased about it and grateful that people thought that much of me. But I do tell somebody, I have to be comical a little bit. I told somebody yesterday, actually, they were asking me something about Man of the Year, and I said, well, I have found it's a wonderful title, but that title and $2 will buy me a Diet Coke most any place. So.
Yeah, I know. Well, let me tell you, when I was Woman of the Year, I went because I was the president of the Lions Club that particular year in 2004. And I promise you, they started reading about the Woman of the Year, and it didn't, I was just thinking, man, she's busy when, she's involved in this and she's involved in that, and I was thinking to myself, man, this lady is busy, and she likes to sing, and that, But when they said she is from Colombia, I flipped.
You knew.
At that point, I went like, whoa, no one in this room is from Colombia.
Well, for me, when he said, moved here in 1979 from South Georgia, I said, can't be too many people out in here like that. I'm still sitting here thinking who it is, and the next thing he said, and I knew it was me. So from that point on, it was pretty much a fog, because I was just like in shock. And some people at my table turned around and pointed at me and said, you're a Man of the Year. And I was like, I can't believe it. But it was a great honor, and I'm very appreciative. And
congratulations.
Thank you.
And I feel like very well deserved.
Well, thank you.
And we're going to take
to be listed with people like Louis Livingston and Don Lamb.
That is amazing.
I read the list, and I'm like, no, I don't need to be on that list, but I am honored. Thank you, Pilar.
You deserve to be on that list. And we're going to take another short break. We'll be right back. All right, I'm still here with Roger Folsom, owner of Med1st. We have been talking about the Chamber of Commerce. We have been talking about different things and how Med1st was born, and good things about our community. I think that's a great thing in our community. Roger, if someone watching that is not a member of the Chamber of Commerce, either they own a company or just individuals, because if you're an individual, even if you don't have a business, you can be a member of the Chamber and join us. So what suggestions, what can you tell these people?
Well, I would suggest you be a member of our Chamber of Commerce. First of all, you're going to meet people you may not know in the community, and you can network, and you may need advice about one aspect of your business or another, and you'll find people who are experts in that field, all right there at a business after hours, or get involved in the chamber and work on some committees. I mean, that is the way I really met people and became friends with people in Dublin, is doing things in that regard. But foremost, Willie Paulk and the team at the chamber, they do such an awesome job. And our community, that is the face of our community. And if you're a business owner or a citizen in this community, even if you don't own a business, don't you want to be a part of the face of our community? And I think this is what the chamber does for us. And we have such a vibrant chamber.
Oh, yes.
You're missing, you might be missing some work, but you're missing some fun. And the chamber is fun because you get to meet people. And it really teaches you a lot about not only your own business, but it teaches you about yourself. And there are all sorts of things that are offered through your membership chamber. Reduction in your health insurance. That's one of the features, of the chamber. The seminars that the chamber has in various aspects of business. You can send employees or go yourself to some of those. And just knowing what's going on in the community. Lord knows without the chamber, there are many things I wouldn't know about that's going on in the community. So it's a source of great information. I could list you 500 reasons that you should be a member of the chamber, but that's some of the most important ones to me.
Exactly, yes. That networking, and they guide us. I mean, if we don't know, more than once I have called the chamber when I really don't know how to find a company or how to find, and they will give me an idea where to start looking and give me phone numbers. If I ask directly, I cannot find the phone number for wherever, and immediately in a heartbeat, they help me.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, Willie and her team, Matthew and Malia, I don't really want to start naming names, but the entire team, but certainly Malia and Matthew, two are faces down there. But the chamber is just vital to our well-being in this community and the growth of this community. And yes, you should be a member of the chamber.
You better be a member of the chamber.
Yeah. That's money well spent, let me assure you. If you advertise at all, you can do no better advertising than to be a member of the chamber.
Exactly. And it's not like it's extremely expensive to be a member.
No.
It's really, for what you gain back, it's really nothing.
Absolutely.
It has been great talking to you, Roger.
It has you as well, Pilar, and thank you for all you do in our community. And
thank you so much.
And thanks to TV 35, another great source of information in our community.
And it's a great place to work, and thank you.
Thank you.
And all of you, thank you so much, and until next time.